What it do? It's your boy Drew Blue back at it again for another Vibe Out sesh. Ow! Today the Lone Wolf will be covering the Foundation 2, the sequel, the direct sequel to Euroz's initial mixtape, The Foundation. His debut project wasn't too bad, and honestly, compared to other people's first timers during that time era, where a mixtape was just kind of considered like just you kind of like getting your first step into making music, where sometimes, you know, the mixing isn't in there in the production or in the vocals, and then sometimes it just comes across as really sounding very amateurish. I can't say that about The Foundation. It felt like everything was well mixed, well executed, and honestly was an all-around solid project. The Foundation 2, as far as I remember, I think Euroz might have had some assistance from DJ Drama with hosting the tape. I could be wrong. I know for a fact, or I believe, that this isn't a Gangsta Grillz tape, just by looking at the image. Actually, no, I'm correct that. It is a Gangsta Grillz. Well, it's not considered a Gangsta Grillz, tape, but it's definitely a Gangsta Grillz presentation by DJ Drama. Either way, I still count it as, you know, one of DJ Drama's hosted tapes with Euroz alongside. So I think getting DJ Drama as a co-sign was huge for Euroz during this time in 2013, when Drama has definitely pretty much come out and helped out prominent artists really make a solid name in the mixtape series with Lil Wayne and No Ceilings, Meek Mill and Dream Chasers, amongst a couple other notable names. But either way, this tape is going to be interesting to delve into once more. It's 20 tracks deep. It's going to be an hour long. So once again, the same rules that I did on the first Foundation applies to the second one. I'm just going to play it for about a minute. And if I feel really good about it, a minute, 30 seconds, or just to justify the length of the song. You know what I mean? And then after that, give you guys my quick feedback. Try to keep it 20 seconds or less. And then move on to the next track, since I know a lot of y'all got short attention spans. But anyways, I'm done talking. So, y'all, in case y'all don't know the drill, this is usually where I go ahead and cut the track, get into the track, and vibe out to track number 1. Oh, and don't be surprised, but because of the DJ Drama cosign, we're gonna see a couple notable feature names on here. So similar to the first one, very few features here, but the name is a little bit more recognizable. We'll get to one that definitely was big for Euroz at the time. But with that being said, track number 1, Podium, let's get it.
It's just different.
Take my hat off for a second. I don't normally do that. Feeling like I'm so close, but I know I got so far to go. I just feel like this is a little different. Y'all ready?
The mind of a true poet. Whoever has the crown knows that I'll soon own it. Peep your new style, I'm hoping you dudes own it. They hate to display love, so only a few show it. Always get respect, only if you show it. It's all about the truth, my nigga, and who's spoken. What's the best if only if you know it? What's the classic if only if you know it? I'm borderline stressing, trying to get my fans another one. And know that TF2 will be such an acute moment. Niggas hating cause a handout is what they waiting on. And that's the reason you locals will never make it on. You thought I evacuated the hospital cause my urgency got them asking where has the patience gone. Me and your favorite producer vibing and making songs. Beats are like canvases in which I paint greatness on. The ones closest to you desert you soon as the cake is gone. I'm working so hard that even moms get a late response. Told me through.
This dude just went on a bar palooza. Okay, so let me go ahead and rewind that back.
Such an acute moment. Niggas hating cause a handout is what they waiting on. And that's the reason you locals will never make it on. You thought I evacuated the hospital cause my urgency got them asking where has the patience.
That line right there was ridiculous. Play that again.
Never make it on. You thought I evacuated the.
You'd have thought I'd evacuate the hospital with an urgency that had them saying, where has the patient gone? Saying he's got no time to wait around, so he's got to go. He's urgent. That's a slick line right there. Now we're really getting Euroz being creative. Now I'm not knocking him in the Foundation one. You know, the bars were pretty cute and here and there, but they didn't really have that strong punch that I know for a fact Euroz can deliver nowadays, where it's completely on another scale, another level. This dude is woke. But definitely back then, you could tell he was kind of like, I don't want to say bottling himself up, but essentially, you know, kind of like, you know, I don't want to say, really, at the end of the day, I think he was just, I can't really speak for his mindset, but I know for a fact that listening to him, he's definitely has grown as a lyricist, and it's potent right there from the first minute here in this track. You can tell he made a huge jump from the Foundation 1 to the Foundation 2. And then the next line.
Hospital, cause my urgency got him asking where has the patience gone. Me and your favorite producer vibing and making songs. Beats are like canvases of which I paint greatness on. One's closest to you desert you soon as the cake is gone.
The ones who's closest to you desert you as soon as the cake is gone. That's another line I was like, okay, hold up. He's coming in.
I'm working so hard that even moms get a late response. Told me
Working so hard that even their moms get it. Holy smoke. What?
songs. Beats are like canvases of which I paint greatness on. One's closest to you desert you soon as the cake is gone. I'm working so hard that even moms get a late response. Told
That even moms gotta labor sons? That's fucking crazy.
the tree, this may be hard to believe, but technically I just started rapping. The game changed, but I'm in love with the part that has.
There you guys have it. Now he's actually taking the rap game serious. He said it himself. Technically, this is when I really started rapping. I figured as much. I figured it. You could tell he was going with the mainstream directive with the first tape. You could tell. Like, he's just kind of capping his potential. Like, you know what I mean? In a bottle. So, to me, I got that feeling. And it shows right there on the first song. Like, he's just like, okay, time to take this for real, you know, for real. And he's actually getting serious. He's actually warming up. Can't wait to hear what he's going to do in the next track, which is going to be number 2, The Other Side. Let's get it.
Foundation 2. Euroz.
You rappers the new Pac, nigga meet the new Biggie. My heart is still recovering. I'm torn between two cities. Know I run this town solely because the shoe fits me. Guaranteed when I do blow, I bring the crew with me. Nigga, how you shoot with me? This is just a natural high. Grasping opportunities while y'all just let them pass you by. We in the making history. No room to fraternize. To keep up with the next, they spend a fortune. Though I'm stacking mine. Real shit. Finally got accustomed to the lows and the highs from the pavement. Who knew that a rose would arise between dreams and real life? My flow is intertwined. I got shooters that have an acre. Tell them go at any time. I'm on my independent grind and they question why I ain't signed yet. Cause money isn't everything. My nigga, I've declined checks.
I was saying that for about, here's the thing, y'all. I've been fucking with him since the Foundation 2. That was really the first project I checked out by him. But as soon as I did, that's when the Memories of the Future came out. And after like a couple listens of the Foundation 2, I didn't even really get a chance to warm up with this tape. He came through with a new project. I was like, okay, let me play this. And that shit fucking blew my mind, which I will cover next episode, by the way. But yeah, like, to me, I was thinking just on that line when he said why he isn't signed yet. Like, okay, I felt like that going through Memories of the Future, BIC, fucking Age of Aquarius, of course leading up to For No Good Reason. But then eventually, I think after I heard Two Birds, One Stone, it kind of clicked to me. I don't even think this dude cares about getting signed anymore. I think he was fully aware of what happens when artists be trying to sign with the record deals. And knowing how woke he is and how he really gets on some deep shit, I feel like he probably discovered for himself it wasn't the best route to get signed, because he probably saw the evils of a 360 deal and how it could really ruin an artist and their potential. So this is just me really kind of like playing like a hard guest ball, but I'm figuring that he's probably thinking about just keeping it low and independent, and eventually he'll build his own records, and he'll be able to, I mean, if he hasn't built it already, and that's when he figures he's just gonna pretty much, you know, take the world by storm. I feel like he's building it the longer way, which I feel like that's why a lot of artists take the 360 deal, because it's like automatic success, but he's doing it the long way, which in a sense is more of the right way for an artist's, you know, true self, because then you're not limited to your creation or what you can't do. It's more about there's so much you can do, and I think Euroz saw true to light about that. You know, Nipsey, I think, was definitely one of the biggest names for someone who wanted to stay independent until he eventually signed with Atlantic. For me, another artist that I know that was doing the same thing that he was before he kind of went off the grid was Nico Lafray. And I was like, these cats are very similar with just how real they are and just how deep their words can cut you when they allow themselves to speak those words. But yeah, I just have to lament that real quick. My apologies, y'all. I went off real big, but let me go ahead and go back to the song.
Unsure if I'm a blow or not. Bomb break, comparing me to greats, and I ain't even hit my prime yet. I used to be crazy.
Hey!
I'd rather see it back and watch another shine. Who'd have thought success paid this well? Finally got familiar with the other side. The other side. Other side. I had to get familiar with the other side. The other side. The other side.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following with me so far chronologically with Euroz, and this is the second project that you're listening to, I mean, courtesy of me first, thank you. I appreciate that. That shows real love. But second, allow me to really introduce what I've been speaking about in the first project. When I said the dude can sing, here you go. This is gonna be the first time you've heard him sing. And I remember when I heard this, I was like, this dude can sing too? And I personally believe, I'm like, okay, hands down, this dude is better than Drake. No lie. I said that right when the Foundation 2 came out. I said, this dude is better than Drake. Hands down. Like, Drake can cut words deep, but like singing wise and everything, I'm like, Euroz is better. And to me, as an overall artist, that to me takes him. Like, if it was a tiebreaker between him and Drake when it came to their solid bars, I'm like, I'm taking Euroz. Hands down, let's go. And I still feel that today. Anyways, let's go.
I had to get familiar with the other side, other side. I had to get familiar with the other side, other side, the other side.
Pause it right there. But yeah, that was dope. That was dope. I spoke too much, so I'm gonna go ahead and bounce up to this song and go to the next track. But just a real last impression I gotta say about a song, man. It just felt good. I'm not gonna mind the auto-tune. I'm pretty sure he was just fucking around with that for a bit, but dude can flat out sing, bro. Oh man, like, hands down. He's definitely one of the most interesting artists that I gotta tune in no matter what. If he's rapping, I'm listening. If he's singing, I'm feeling it, man. I'm like, okay, I'm getting that energy. I'm feeling that. So it's like, no matter what, this dude he's just a phenomenal artist, y'all. Like, truly, truly underrated. He's definitely, I've spoke about Nico Lafray. It's really one of the best artists that you've never heard of. You know, one of the best artists. But I'll say Euroz is he's definitely the most talented artist that you've never heard of, if you haven't heard of him. If you know who he is, shout out to Romy Taylor. I was surprised when I found out one of my subscribers knows who he is. I was like, all right then, it's a setup. I'm gonna go ahead and do this vibe out session on him next. But yeah, shout out to you, Romy, because I was actually gonna wait until I was in Vegas to do this, but I was like, you know what, you're right. It's unbelievable that people don't really listen to this dude. So let's get him. Track number 3 is gonna be SOF. But yeah, Other Side definitely has that same vibe lyrically as the first Foundation. I'm not saying that it's bad, but I'm just saying like he's definitely on that mentality, like mentally wise, like he's on about just talking about coming up from nothing and really just like saying that he's really getting after it. Like he's not wasting time. It's just motivational stuff is what I'm trying to say. Like that shit's motivational stuff. So keep on chugging. We're gonna get to track number 3, SOF.
In between is quality music. I want you to pay attention to these bars.
DJ Drama, fuck these niggas.
Shit, I ain't broke when it comes to that, my nigga. Let's get going.
Don't get tossed in, the foundation got me on. And I ain't been off since. Life and good pussy, 2 things that I get lost in. All my hoes look forward to the D like playing all fans. Big faces, stack them to a perfect height. Bitches only attracted to a certain type. Man, I'm urging these labels to get their money straight. Cause in my particular case, I'm really worth the hype. I never lose, so how you plan to get a dub off me? Bought my haters drinks, the only way they'll get a buzz off me. Getting money.
Whoa. Rewind that.
I'm really worth the hype. I never lose, so how you plan to get a dub off me? Bought my haters drinks, the only way they'll get a buzz off me.
But my haters drink the only way they'll get a buzz off me. I've heard someone use this line a lot better. If you were following with on my previous series, Nick Gray on that song "Notice Us," part of the God series from Fashionably EP Fashionably Late EP. I don't know why I botched that, but either way, on that song he said, "We sort of kind of buzzing like we on a 3rd shot." Now that I felt like was a better use of that punchline compared to here where Euroz is like, "I bought my haters drink, and that's the only time they'll get a buzz of me." I don't know. That's kind of shaky and suspect. That's all I'm gonna say. I felt like that was a bit of a reach. And listen, I'm saying that because I've heard this dude come in 1,000 times stronger. So like, I know he can definitely bring it the heat when he needs to. So compare on his standards, yeah, it wasn't. But then again, like I said, it's his 2nd tape, and he just said he started rapping, and I'm taking his word for it if he's really getting into it and getting out the bars. Because no doubt about it, where he's at right now, y'all, crazy. Let's get it going.
Getting money, and it's tax free. My whole team baller, the Wayne athletes, TN2s, back to doing numbers. Check the stat sheet. Hottest nigga rapping, well, that's only if you ask me. Street nigga with intellect, rarely show my hood side. Heard the fans was snapping flicks, I pray they get my good side. We so high, money over bitches is what we go by. If it's something that we want, we go by. For the gasoline out of like the streets on fire.
Shout to the resistance.
Streets on fire. All these niggas know we got the streets on fire. Streets on fire. Streets on fire. All these bitches know we got the streets on fire.
Somebody call the fire truck.
Ye said it best, it's so hard not to act reckless. If you don't think I run the city, check my track record. The new shit ain't even fucking with my last records. You would think I'm on either way, I gas records. Safe to say we in the lead. Shout out to the runner up. And you ain't gotta like us, just know the money does. They telling me I'm killing shit, and I don't feel I done enough. I can't complain though, shit is on the up and up.
Now, one of the most notable lines from there was like, "If you don't think I run the city, check my track record." Now, I thought that was pretty interesting. That was a good line. But to me, I gotta say, lyrically, I don't think he's topped what he did on the first track, The Podium. That was definitely just a good run. Like, to me, there's nothing wrong if you gotta exhaust yourself like 30 words to really get a pun to come through. Because if you say 30 words and you got like 2 or 3 different connections here or there, I feel like you delivered. But once again, you know what I mean? Dude barely started rapping, like really taking this serious with the pen writing skills. So the fact that he's really trying to like put 2 and 2 together, still working on his craft, shaping it up. Obviously it's his 2nd tape, so you know, like he's really getting into it. I think this is just, once again, a first big step that he had to take, man. So We're gonna move on to track number 4. But like definitely the last 2 tracks we just listened to are definitely hype tracks. One more motivational than the other, with the last one just kind of being like a flex track. But we're gonna get to track number 4, which is titled Dedicated, featuring Pryo. Oh no, it's called Pryo. Okay, what the fuck? Pryo, yeah. So instead of Pyro, it's the other way around. Pryo. Okay, let's get it. Oh, MLB. First MLB beat. Okay, let's get it.
So we've been working so hard for, right?
Okay, so let me make this clear for anyone who doesn't know. If you hear MLB beats for Euroz is essentially like what Play Picasso is for Tory Lanez, what Metro is for Future. I know that's probably going a little too far, but either way, 808 Mafia for Juicy J, or even say 3-6 Mafia, really. Young Chop for Chief Keef. You know what I mean? DJ Mustard essentially for the West Coast sounds, but you could definitely say more likely YG than anything else. But either way, it's just like, once again, like MLB is like, or even you could say K-Beats for Nico Lafray for all my Nico Lafray fans, but MLB is essentially like that main go-to producer for Euroz. I won't say exactly that he's his in-house producer, because I can't really like, I'm not too sure, and I don't want to like, in case if he isn't, but either way, I always felt like MLB's was like that main number 1 in-house producer for Euroz, just like what Play Picasso is for Tory. But either way, let's keep going.
Shout to Vegas.
I know this shit kill y'all. Okay, next stop, success. Me and my entire team. Fuck a portion, my niggas want the entire thing. In the lab, we discuss ventures and conspire dreams. And run through women, this money and fly entire brain. Such a blessing if you saw the shit that I done seen. So it's my pleasure to shit on niggas in dire need. Living better now, so I can never die in need. Plus my buzz growing, somebody check my sobriety. Whole spot of variety, that's what the shit that we about. Blessed cause I get to live the life I once dreamed about. Road to success, what you know about the scenic route. Loyalty, the only thing my whole team about. Listen to my tapes, you can tell where all my efforts gone. Know I'm making moves, so my toes is what they stepping on. A lot of niggas claim the city, but they rap it wrong. Know I'm making moves, so my toes is what they stepping on. A lot of niggas claim the city, but they rap it wrong. Las Vegas, the world is finally catching on. Word. Thinking I was gonna fall, bet you never gonna make it this far. And I ain't tripping off nothing, cause it really ever had it all. This is dedicated. Tell you motherfuckers I thought I wasn't gonna make it. Yeah, nigga, I made it. I could tell that you had it, so I had to dedicate.
I dedicated shit.
Yeah, I'm feeling like we about to blow soon. Meanwhile, I'm shitting on niggas like I'm supposed to. We burning bread and tapping out wine glasses. Why? Cause truly it's the type of shit you make a toast to. I can appreciate the shit I had to go through. Started at the bottom, now the top is what I'm close to. And these other niggas is old news. When you on it, quick to ride the wave like a boat cruise. Bet we gon' lose. And they know it was credit the opportunity. Haters hoping I blow it. And since it kills you, I'm sending my condolences. Fuck an address, we living in the moment.
I found it pretty interesting. He said, listen to my tape. You can find where all my interest is on. I don't know if he said tapes with a plural, because from what we know from the discography, he's only got the foundation. But of course, that's not to rule out, y'all, all the unknown times where he could have been like a lot of other dudes, be out on the streets. Probably like, I know I've seen a dude like outside of Burlington was giving out burnout CDs for $5, music they're trying to put out. So for all we know, it probably isn't his first actual mixtape that he tried to make, but potentially, you know what I mean? Like the foundation is probably his first successful debut, you know what I mean? And we never know, man. We never know. So honestly, only Euroz knows about that. But as far as from the discography, I know for a fact the only thing he's got really to back him up right now is the foundation one. But hey, on that one, it's all motivational stuff for the pretty much like a few flex songs here and there. This song right here, Dedicated, feels like as if he's kind of like lamenting back on the times where, you know, he really had to work hard to get to where he's at right now, and he's dedicated to this, and he's not done yet. So once again, dope song. Pryo as a feature, I'll say this, cool, but once again, you've heard Euroz sing for the first time on track number 2. You would think at this point, do you really need anyone to help you sing? Unless you're trying to do a collab with someone, you know, pretty big. Let's say Neo, for argument's sake, who's also a dude that grew up in Vegas, like Euroz, Doozy, and myself. Don't take it like that, yo. I'm just saying, facts is fact. I grew up in the same city those cats did, so. But we're gonna move on to track number 5, Know You. Nice throwback joint. It felt like I was listening to just an upbringing, motivational. It felt like I was listening to like something I would hear T-Pain on, with like somebody from like a late 2000s joint, you know what I mean? Anyways, track number 5, Know You. Okay, Don Cannon.
See your name and then fly, shit lights. Find yourself telling me no, cause they don't ask, shit right. Girl, you got the face of a goddess and that ass, shit nice. So let a real nigga get a taste. I gotta add, put tight. But first I'm trying to get to know you. Miss red bottles with the perfect ass. Removing the car keys from the Birkin bag. Kissing starts to reverse the jag. Wonder if she got a man, it wouldn't hurt to ask. Roll down the window, she give a nigga action. And me in convo, she was the first to laugh. The best thing that happened to a pair of eyes. In love with the style of how your hair's tied. Stay out the limelight, she don't care to shine. Presence alone to leave a grown man terrified. So official that her Twitter should be verified. She possess class that you really find. High commodity shit. If my life is a puzzle, then you probably fit. Looking to show you better things, that quality shit. You need somebody that's for real, and I'm trying to be happy. See your name and then flag, shit lights. Find yourself telling me no, cause they don't ask, shit right. Girl, you got the face of a goddess and that ass, shit nice. So let a real nigga get a taste. I gotta add, put it tight. But first I'm trying to get to know you. Work, I know your guard's up.
So this is what I can say about this joint. It feels like as if he's making progress as a singer, but he's not fully there yet. And y'all really will get to see his true potential first, you know, scratching the surface on the next episode when I cover Memories of the Future. To me, it just felt like, I don't believe this is what it is, but to me, it just felt like as if it was Euroz who wasn't fully confident in himself as a singer and kind of kept things nonchalant. But also, I would say, but I believe more probably really what I think it is just Euroz kind of like sticking true to what kind of like is the type of template to follow during this time era, which I'll say right then and again, during, you know, really 2013 is the beginning, or really where the glorious years of hip hop and really the renaissance of the 808s began in this year. It probably happened towards the latter end of 2013 more than it did in the beginning, but definitely from 2013 going onwards, that's when we really got strong bangers. I mean, you know, kick it off with the Dream Chasers 3 tape. You know what I mean? I definitely was falling up for the Soul Tape 3, but then you had the Shine City really putting it all with Dirk, Bibby, you know, Herb. It was all getting up there. You know what I mean? And 808s was getting that respect. Of course, Tory would come in with that, you know, with the conflicts, but then eventually that would lead into Lost Cause, which was an absolute banger. I mean, damn, going into 2014, of course. But yeah, I'm just looking at when this was dropped. Let's see. I'm gonna get to the next song right now. Just gotta find out when this shit was dropped. Okay, yeah, on May 2013. I figured as much. It was like during the first half of 2013. everyone was still kind of keeping it cliche and cute during like the first beginning of 2013, much like 2012, 2011. It was just like that. You know, that's basically that Drake Young Money movement that was going on. Everyone was kind of like, I'm gonna go with that kind of vibe, you know, how they did it. So, okay, now we're gonna move on to track number 6. But yeah, No Use, alright, it's a cool song, you know what I mean? It's just pretty much talking about how I just want to get to know this female. It's alright, it's cool. Trust me, like, this doesn't hold a freaking, I don't even want to say it, like a candle. It don't hold nothing, not even water, compared to the R&B songs that he will eventually make going down the road, where he really gets on his R&B side, and I mean damn near could outshine any R&B singer in the fucking industry or in the game in general. Are you telling me this is a security guard with a fucking Hellcat? Man, that's crazy. No, that's not a Hellcat, that's a Dodge Charger. Fuck that. Either way, track number 6, Against All Odds, with a returning feature from the first Foundation, Versewon. Let's get it. The fuck? The hell? Technical difficulties. Give me 1 second.
Into it.
That was weird as hell. Man.
My stress levels at an all-time high. Somebody light the weed up. It's time to make a move like the lease up. There's a lot that's on my mind, just thought I'd speak up. I pray to God for all the things that I'm in need of. I'm just hoping he make it right. And I don't fuck with women that's hoping to stay tonight. In and out of my city, I'm constantly taking flights. Niggas smile on your face when they plotting to take your life. Shout out to the haters. Seems they got a lot to say. Man, cause I took chances, others chose not to take. Sights on the top, I'm like 1 or 2 spots away. If you ain't in this game to win, I urge you niggas not to play. And I don't see a gavel, my nigga. Who are you to judge? Everywhere I go, they show me stupid love. Smart decisions resulted into a stupid buzz. Never surprised of recognition, and I knew it comes. See the stars flashing in the sky. Dreams in my heart, passion in my eyes. Shout out to all the cats that's on the rise. Don't let the haters distract you from the prize, man, against all odds. See the stars flashing in the sky. Dreams in my heart, passion in my eyes. Shout out to all the cats that's on the rise. Don't let the haters distract you from the prize, man, against all. I deal with it. I've emerged from a hood in which I still visit. Old friends from my past wish we still kicked it, but they mine on the streets and mine on the meal ticket. These days the money is all I count on, fucking just to make up for the honeys that I missed out on.
Yeah, it's definitely, once again, reverting back to the Foundation once more. Just a lot of songs where he's really just talking about the struggles, man. And at the end of the day, it's relatable, you know what I mean? But I'll definitely say, with that being said, you know what I mean? Like, the bars are just there to really kind of like, just like in a form of speech. It isn't like he's trying to flex lyrically. It's just like really him just talking about how he's being counted out